Gracie Jiu-Jitsu rocks. Welcome to the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Rocks podcast, a podcast dedicated to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and all things Gracie, including self-defense, competition, anti-bullying, women's self-defense and empowerment, nutrition, and most especially, the people involved in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. This podcast is for the average Joe. It's for anyone who practices, trains, teaches, or just loves to talk about or hear about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. We'll explore the lives of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, how they got involved in the art, and what effect it's had on their lives. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Welcome to episode 25 of the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Rocks podcast. As always, I'm your host, Marty Josie, and thanks for listening. Today I'll be interviewing Stuart Cooper of Stuart Cooper Films. And Stuart, as most of you or many of you will know, does incredible jiu-jitsu films that are very motivational and very inspirational. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. Before that, we've got a number of things we're going to do, starting with the jiu-jitsu quote, and then we'll have a product review. Then I'm going to play a short audio clip of one of Stuart's films, and then we'll do the interview with Stuart, and after that, stick around for the Make a Difference, Make an Impact segment and the wrap-up. So let's start with today's jiu-jitsu quote, and that is, "There is no losing in jiu-jitsu. You either win or you learn." And that's from Carlson Gracie. Great quote. Okay, on today's product review, we're going to talk about grappling dummies, and specifically one that I recently purchased, the Submission Master. Now, a lot of people, when they hear grappling dummy, are very skeptical, or I've even heard some pretty negative, feedback. Why do you need to use that? Isn't live rolling enough, etc.? And I don't know. There's all kinds of different ways you can look at it, but the way I look at it is, if you're a boxer, you don't just free spar in the ring and shadow box. You also use tools like the heavy bag, the speed bag, and anything that can enhance your performance, anchor things into your nervous system, that will help you, the better. So it's kind of how I look at a grappling dummy. I have a kind of a crazy schedule where I travel a lot, which can be a positive or and negative at times. It makes it hard to train at one particular place, and make that really my hub, so to speak. On the positive side, I do get to visit, a number of different places, which is definitely great. But even when I'm at home, because of my job, I sometimes find it very hard to make it to class as much as I would like. So I bought a dummy. I researched it quite a bit, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But I bought one, and I work from home when I'm in town. And I can't say enough about how much I've enjoyed it and how much I think that it's helped me. I keep it in my office room, and sometimes I'll do a full session with the dummy, and sometimes I just take a break from my work for 10 minutes, sometimes as little as even 5 minutes, but I do that several times a day. Take a quick break, work on one particular technique, and just rep it, or one particular flow, 2 to 3 techniques, and just kind of get those transitions really, really good. Obviously, a dummy isn't as good, at least in a lot of ways, as a live partner. It can't give the kind of resistance or the kind of movement that a live training partner would. However, for just logging tons and tons of reps to a particular technique and really anchoring that into your nervous system, as I said before, and really getting it into your muscle memory, it's an awesome tool for doing that. It allows you to just really get a lot in a short time. The one I got was the Submission Master through Bob Doris. And in full disclosure here, I liked it so much that I did become an affiliate. So if you're interested in getting one, go through my link on the site and I'll get a little change back for it. But the criteria I used in selecting it was I wanted it to be able to sit up so that closed guard drills work. You can go into arm bars, omoplatas, triangles, etc. I wanted to keep its legs up as a guard defense to practice guard passes, which this one does. It also returns its arms back to position so that you don't have to reset it after every rep, which is kind of a big deal. It saves time. And I was also looking for something with a pretty decent amount of weight, a good weight ratio to simulate a real opponent. If you get one that's too light and you throw it around with ease, it doesn't simulate enough. It doesn't feel enough like a real person. So this one I think weighs about 70 pounds and gives a good amount of weight to kind of move around and for just getting some solo work in, drill. And more questions about my experience with it, shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'm happy to get back to you and share more of my experience. I'm also going to do a write-up that'll be on the website as well. Okay, moving on, let's do a short clip from one of Stuart Cooper's films, The Jiu-Jitsu Lifestyle. And within the clip, you'll hear the voice of Henry Akins, George St. Pierre, Jean-Jacques Machado, and Dean Lister. And at the end, again, Henry Akins. So I think you'll enjoy this clip.
I think there's so many elements of jiu-jitsu that make people better human beings. I mean, I think the one thing, the martial arts itself is a spiritual practice in a way, because the white gi, what the white gi symbolizes is purity of spirit. How the belt system used to go was when everyone starts off, you start off as a white belt, and over years and years of training, because you're never supposed to wash your belt, the belt eventually turns brown and then black. I think there's so many elements of jiu-jitsu that make people, I think building confidence in people, I think as a teacher it helps you to develop a lot of confidence and also learn how to be able to talk to people and have relationships with people. I think as students, people develop relationships with each other, and so it's so beneficial for people in so many ways.
Listening. The one thing that jiu-jitsu teach you over the years is to be humble, and you need to be humble. There is no any champion that I know that are not humble. Tonight, when I'll go in bed, I know for sure that I'll be a better fighter, a better martial artist than when I woke up in the morning, and that's what I want every day.
The impact Jiu-Jitsu created to my life was that believe in yourself, evidently, self-esteem. You have some good days, some bad days, but that will not stop you to go back and try it again, train harder until you accomplish what you want. More important for me than just get a student gets good in Jiu-Jitsu is for him to succeed.
Unfortunately, it seems like, in my opinion, when you quit on something, your dreams, as long as it takes to make your dreams happen, once you quit on making dreams happen, it's like a part of you dies. And this is like something, I see a lot of people that they retire from a career and they die a year later. Yeah, same, the dream's dead. And you should be enjoying yourself. You should absolutely be enjoying yourself. But why are you doing it then? Why are you doing it?
Happiness is a state of mind. It's a state of mind too, because even though money cannot buy it, it is a lot of learning to be content with what you have. being at peace with what you have, accepting whatever comes at you, and not having expectations, because as soon as you create expectations in your head and those expectations do not come through, then you create unhappiness within you.
Okay, nice clip. I always enjoy, and I've said on the show many times how much I enjoy Stuart's films. And so I'm really happy to be able to have him on the show today. So without further ado, let's meet Stuart now. My guest today is Stuart Cooper, BJJ brown belt and producer of the incredible Stuart Cooper films. So welcome, Stuart, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me on the podcast.
My pleasure. So you're hanging out in Thailand right now for a while, right?
That's right. It's around 11 p.m. in Thailand right now, and it's
all right, and
warm.
Nice. It's freezing here. I'm in the United States in Virginia right now. So what's taking you over to Thailand, and how are things going over there so far?
Things are going great in Thailand. How did it all begin? I was basically, I went to Brazil. I saved up some money when I was 23. I was filming weddings. That's how I was first got into like filmmaking. And then, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was my big passion at this time. That was my hobby. And my job was filming weddings. And I managed to save up some money to go to Brazil. So I called up Dennis Ash, the founder of Connection Rio, and said, emailed him saying, would you let me come out to Brazil, with free training and free accommodation. In exchange, I'll make some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu videos, documentaries, with your logo on them, and help advertise a company. And he said, yeah, we'd love that. And, I spent a good 3 months out there and then returned to England and carried on filming weddings. And then I thought I'd like to do the same thing in Thailand. I got a bit sick of Brazil, to be honest. I can't quite put my finger on it why. I was kind of ready to come back to UK. But then I had the idea to come out to Thailand. But it was only for 3 months because I didn't think they would do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out here. I thought it was just going to be like Thai boxing.
Right.
Like 3 months, and I wasn't prepared to go more than 3 months without Jiu-Jitsu. But it turns out the Jiu-Jitsu is very good here. And after 3 months of being here, they actually offered me their job, like full time, of making short videos, every now and again, quite often actually, we have like UFC fighters coming through. So they get me to and some of the other staff to make short videos on the UFC fighters and help promote the stuff on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And, and then the opportunity of the instructor of jiu-jitsu class came up as well. I was just there at the right time. And I did that as well. And then I'm teaching the jiu-jitsu as well in the evening. There's a fifth-degree black belt teaching in the morning, and then I teach in the evening.
Excellent.
So, life is pretty good out here.
It sounds like you got a nice little thing going on over there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Right on. Well, let's back up a moment and just tell us how you got started. You said BJJ is your passion. How did you get introduced to that and get started? And tell us about what that journey has been like for you.
Yeah, well, like most people, I know I'd heard of jiu-jitsu. I'd never heard of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But I always wanted to do martial arts as a kid. I'd always loved Schwarzenegger films. I always wanted muscles.
Right.
Schwarzenegger and stuff. I always had, always idolized these people. And I went to a few karate classes and judo. Never found like anything effective. I thought this isn't going to work, and school. The one thing I did find was judo, but because of school, homework. Every time I went to judo, I wouldn't do my homework, and I'd get in trouble. So I actually enjoyed doing judo, and that would have that would have helped me today if I carried on doing it. But I couldn't carry on doing it because of school. So
right.
Yeah. Then when I was 23, like most people, first time I caught UFC actually. And I just loved it straight away. I was watching Roger Huerta versus Clay Guida. It was the first fight, so I was like, whoa, this is like real fighting, because I used to watch WWE as a kid. I was like, this is real. These guys are going on it all over the place. And then saw him, saw Roger choke him a rear naked choke, and I was like, this is awesome. And I was like,
caught the fever.
Yeah, and then that was it. I found instantly, because I was working at a health club at that time, my friend the next day, I just said, right, what is this UFC? Where can I do it? And me and him went down to a Muay Thai gym, and there was an MMA class afterwards, and then I went to the MMA class, but it was the ground stuff that I really liked. And then I found a separate Gracie Barra gym.
And how long were you at that gym, at the Gracie Barra?
I was at the Gracie Barra gym for up until I got my brown belt there. So I was with them for a good 4 years. Yeah,
okay.
3 to 4 years before I took off to Brazil.
And who was your instructor or instructors during that time?
Many instructors, actually. I mean, it's all under Lucio Lagarta Rodriguez.
Okay.
But he's hardly there. He's got many academies all over the UK. But mainly, it's Paul Hartley and Lucio Sergio de Santos is where I got most of my jiu-jitsu. But right now in Thailand, I've been a brown belt for 2 years now. I've been with Fernando Macachero. And because I'm not going back to England or Preston, where the Gracie Barra affiliation is from, I actually recently made the call of, it was a very hard thing to do, of just, breaking ties from, Gracie Barra Preston. And they completely understood why. They were all my friends. When I went back at Christmas, I saw them, and they completely understood.
So you kind of got their blessing, so to speak?
Yeah. And my coach actually said to me, Paul Hartley, he said, when you get your black belt, just make sure you send me a photograph of that.
Nice.
So, yeah, he's really cool about it.
Okay. And then you went down to Brazil. Who did you train with there?
In Brazil, I was training with Roberto Gordo. And I was also training with Rafael dos Anjos on a daily basis as well. And he
awesome.
He was on the prelims at that time.
Okay.
And now he's fighting for the belt.
Yeah, now he's big time for sure.
Yeah, he's big time. For sure. And he's knocked out some good guys. So I also went to X Gym, trained with Silvio Bering. I tried out many academies. De La Riva Gym, Ricardo De La Riva. Where else did I go? Dennis Ash himself is a really good teacher. Dennis Ash is the founder of Connection Rio. And Gracie Barra as well. So
I'm a big fan of your films. I can't say enough how much I enjoy those. They're just so motivational, inspirational, and I feel like they do such a great service of making the connection in the jiu-jitsu community stronger and building that bond. So thank you for making those, because I know it's inspired a lot of people.
Thank you for watching.
Absolutely. And I know you just mentioned you went from filming weddings to your first endeavor of the films, the BJJ films down in Rio. How did it go from there? How did you progress and keep going with all the BJJ films?
So I carried on actually filming weddings, just for my finances, and it was Jason Tan. I was actually competing regularly, and I got my arm broke in a seminar. So because I couldn't train, I picked up like a little video camera. I always had an interest in filming. And I started filming my team, at the competitions, and just made a little highlight, video out of it. And my team watched the video and they said, "You're pretty good at this." And I had no background in it. So I actually really enjoyed it and saved up for like a even better video camera. And with the weddings as well, that's kind of weird how I fell into that. They just got better and better, and I kept on hearing of these. I was learning more and more about jiu-jitsu and the names. And Jason Tan introduced me to Braulio Estima. Jason Tan is a former UFC fighter, black belt in jiu-jitsu. And he asked me to film his competition after he saw my video, the highlight video of my team. And actually paid me. I was like, I'm getting paid to film a competition. This is pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
Next thing you know, and he loved my videos and Braulio Estima. I loved what I did for him for ADCC against Jacare. And he said, why don't we make this into like a 4-part series? And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome, because I was really enjoying it. And he got me backstage passes at ADCC, and all my teammates were jealous. And
I bet.
Yeah, half the people at that time, I didn't know who they were. But now I look back through my footage and I'm like, I know who everybody is.
That is incredible.
I was backstage, I didn't know really. I knew like some of the main names.
Right.
But right now I know pretty much everybody. And I'm friends with most of them as well. So I carried on. Every time there was like a seminar in the UK, Jason Tan would tell me about it. He goes, like, Gunnar Nelson's in Manchester next week. Jeff Monson's down in London. So I would just literally drive to all these different locations, Dean Lister up in Leicester, and just film, I didn't really know what I was doing, but just try and film and make something out of it.
Well, that says a lot about you, because there's so many people who have a passion for something, but they don't follow their dream or don't develop it because there's so many reasons why they can't. And, they haven't had the training or don't have this opportunity or that, or this door's closed. But you pretty much took it, the bull by the horns and said, man, I'm doing it. I'm driving down. I'm going to just start filming and get better as I go. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And I
commend you for that
as well.
How interesting is it that you were backstage and that awesome opportunity, and you didn't even know who some of the people were, and now looking back, you're like, wow, I didn't even know how awesome that opportunity was at the time. That's
yeah,
great.
When I was backstage, I remember doing some backstage interviews with Andre Galvo. Didn't know who he was.
Wow.
Bustamante and Chrome Gracie and stuff, and I got backstage at several events and kept on seeing these faces, and then they'd seen my videos and they never put a name to the face. And then when I got to know who they were, when I've made videos on Cyborg and Andre and Chrome Gracie, they're like, "Oh, it's you!
That's you!
It's you!"
Wow.
Andre Galvo, he calls me Mr. Smiley.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, you've certainly had a chance to cross paths with some great names, and tons of them. Some of the videos that I've enjoyed even more than others are the Art of Jiu-Jitsu, Spirit of Jiu-Jitsu, and Jiu-Jitsu, A Way of Life. And you've had a chance to film GSP, like you just mentioned, Andre Galvao, Mario Sperry, Marcelo Garcia, and the list just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Can you share any memorable experiences about when you were making any of these? Anything that stands out about when you were doing some of these?
Memorable experiences. Let me think. I mean, going down to Marcelo's Atos, actually, I mean, man, that's like an Olympic training center. You know, like Andre Gallo says, a draw to win. I was there filming, and it really is. They train so. I've never seen a club that trains so hard. Like they're just animals. You know, animals. They're just like everyone at the end. There's so much cardio, and everyone's dead at the end of just complete repetition, complete drilling. And Andre just gets up at the end and goes, "Come on, Stuart, let's go. Let's do the interview." I'm like, he's not even sweating. He's like,
wow.
I'm like, oh my God, everyone else is dead. I'm like, I'm dead from watching it.
Incredible.
And he's just like fresh, you know, as a daisy. And then so that was an experience, like watching that. And when I went down to Marcelo's, such a great guy, you know. Obviously, getting smashed by him was an experience.
I'm sure.
Yeah, getting smashed by his brown belts, because I'm a good brown belt, but he's got 4 brown belts that are killers, and they just destroyed me. I was like, why aren't these guys black belts? I don't understand, because I did well with some of the black belts. I was doing fine with some of the black belts, but these brown belts were like scary, tapping left and right. And it unfortunately for Marcelo, like I went down that week to New York, and just as I finished filming, I packed away. So unfortunate. You know, it's bad to say, but luckily for me, I just finished filming. But as soon as I finished filming, they were doing wrestling, and Marcelo tried to hip toss someone, and he tore his ACL.
Oh man,
It was bad. It was bad, you know. And I've never seen. And he was actually in a lot of pain.
Oh wow!
So I literally, when I was leaving.
What about your time down with the Black Zillions? What was that like?
That was good. I found Rashad Evans. You know, it's like you can't judge everyone in the first meeting, but Mario Sperry was cool as, you know, like every morning he would say, "Hey Stu, how you doing?" Like give me a hug. And still to this day, when it's my birthday and stuff, he sends me a private message.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he's always retweeting and stuff. He's actually a fan of my videos. He watches them all the time. And when I met him in China, he was saying, "You're the only one doing this kind of stuff. Keep it up." I went, "Thank you." I was like, wow, Mario Sperry, this guy's a legend.
Absolutely.
You know, and Murilo Bustamante, the same as well. I met him when I was in Brazil, and now I've met him several times. So now I'm actually technically under Murilo Bustamante. You know, because Fernando Macachura is a 5th degree black belt in the Murillo, and Murillo will be the one giving me my black belt.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah, that is cool. That's super cool.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I got off track then. What was I talking about?
What about your time with Crone or Hickson? What about that time?
Yeah, just back to Rashad Evans.
I'm sorry.
After everyone was cool. Everyone was super cool. Anthony Johnson, but I found Rashad Evans a bit like, I don't know, a bit arrogant almost. Mm-hmm. Like he just didn't have the time of day for me. And same with Alistair Overeem, you know, like, but you know, they don't know who I am. They just see a guy with a video camera.
Sure.
You know, but I was there training, you know, I was jumping in training with the guys, and all the other guys were friendly with me, but, you know, like it was just, they only met me once, so they're probably super cool people, you know, but.
Probably so.
Yeah, who knows. And then Hickson, what a nice guy, you know, really cool, like humble guy, very like, you know, content in himself. You can see like there's so much wisdom surrounding him. He's like Gandalf, you know?
Right.
He's just, you can just see like he just knows everything, you know, and he has such a way with words, you know.
And that whole presence, right? The whole energy he exudes is just amazing.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I got a good interview with him. A good hour, actually. I've used bits of it, you know, some videos, but I'm going to have to do something with it. I'm not sure what, because I don't have footage of him doing anything, so I'm not sure. Maybe put out the interview in other videos, or maybe put out the whole interview in one chunk. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. But pretty much everyone in jiu-jitsu is cool.
Is there anyone, or are there people that you haven't had a chance to interview yet that you would like to?
Yes, but it's about to change on Friday. One of them is Eddie Bravo, and he actually comes and does a seminar on Friday here in Thailand. So I'm going to be interviewing him on filming his seminar on Friday, and then bringing him back to my house. And I was already on his podcast, so he knows me. Yeah, I'm going to interview him for a good 2 hours. And then, because I want to make a really cool documentary and put it on Vimeo like I did with the Marcelo Garcia one. Make it a really cool, different documentary. So I need to change things up a bit, because I found my style was getting a bit repetitive. So I'm going to ask him where are you flying to next, because he's only staying a few days. And if he's flying somewhere local, I'll say, is it okay if I come with you? I'd like to film like the road trip, and all the funny stuff that happens.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
That would be cool. Because you never know. Like, the funniest stuff happens, on the spot.
Yeah, you're right. And those are some of the most interesting ones, as you're just following them along on their journey, so to speak.
Yeah, film him on the plane, just having a laugh, So I've just made a documentary on Vinny Magalhaes. And so I'm going to do one on Eddie Bravo. I've got a massive campaign going at the moment to do one on Joe Rogan. That's the one I want to do after Eddie Bravo, Joe Rogan. I don't know if you noticed on Twitter, but I just got everyone to retweet who wants to see a Joe Rogan video, Rogan Jiu-Jitsu video made by Stuart Cooper, and 600, 700 people retweeted it.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
I put together today, I downloaded loads of Joe Rogan videos where he's talking about jiu-jitsu, and there's hardly any footage of him rolling, but I managed to get a little bit, and put together a 10-minute video of Joe Rogan doing some jiu-jitsu, and that's going to be like a little kind of pilot, if you would say.
Yeah,
it's
a good idea
out there. So I put at the end, who wants to see coming soon, the new film by Stuart Cooper. The new film by Stuart Cooper, hopefully coming soon.
That's a good way to put it. So in all your travels and all your exposure to different jiu-jitsu instructors and camps and that kind of thing, I'm sure you've come across a lot of mottos and slogans from different schools and people. Anything that stands out in your mind, or do you have a favorite quote or motto that really inspires you?
I don't know. My favorite, my good friend, as I told you before, the first fight I saw was Roger Huerta versus Clay Guida. Roger Huerta is the MMA coach here. He's like one of my best friends now. And he just, he's always telling me, when I'm stressed out, he's like, Stu, just chill, just live in the moment, don't think of the future. Stop stressing about the future. Just now, focus on now. Don't look to the future. Just enjoy right now. Just enjoy the ride. So,
wow. That's great.
Yeah, I like that. Just enjoy the ride.
I like that too.
Life is one big roller coaster, ups and downs. Just enjoy it.
That's true. It's a great way to put it. So many of us waste so much time living in the future. What if, or when this happens, we'll, whatever. But hey, life's right now, right?
Exactly. Just enjoy it as it comes. Because I was doing that very recently, when I came back from America. Because I was going here, there, all over to film as many documentaries as possible. And it really stressed me out. I lost 20 kilos doing it.
Wow.
When we came back to Thailand, everyone was like, Stu, you look like a little kid. So I managed to put the weight back on.
Wow.
I'm just lifting loads of weights and training again. But it stressed me. I became a victim of my own, like, exactly what my videos are about. You know,
Yeah.
I had to watch my own video to remind me, you know, because I was just thinking, I'll do this, I've got to do that.
So I want to respect your time. A couple more questions for you, Stuart. Excuse me. What would you say, or what advice would you have for someone just starting out in jiu-jitsu, as well as for someone who's been doing it for a while but maybe is starting to get a little disillusioned about just staying the course? What would you say to each one of those?
You've got to find someone who's just starting out in it. I mean, you do have to be humble. You've got to be used to. I mean, I say this all the time when I'm teaching. You've got to get used to having your ass kicked. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen again because so many people get frustrated. You know, and I'm like, look, it's going to happen. Like, it happened to me. Luckily, I was a quick learner and I had an athletic background. But so I learned really quick. But I took a 6 months beating.
Oh, wow.
Like, and so it wasn't as bad for me, but other people, obviously it takes longer. It takes them like 1 year, 2 years to really, you know, start, you know, tapping people on a regular basis. And that's when it becomes fun, when you're tapping people more, you know. And I just try and to keep it fun for myself. Now what I'm doing is, because I'm pretty much, I know my game, I have my style. I'm trying other things. Like, I'm very influenced by Cyborg Gabru, such a big, strong guy, but with so much flexibility. And because I'm very stocky myself, I didn't think I could go upside down like that. And I've just been doing it all the time. And now I love it. I love going upside down. And
That's cool.
My game was pressure passing, like a big man's game. Like pressure passing, like very tight. And now it's become, you know, more of like a bit of both, like a small man's game as well. You know, like we're using a lot of flexibility. So I've started doing a lot of stretching. So that's how I keep it interesting for myself, like just trying to learn new things. So that's
keeping it fresh, trying new things. And
that's what I would say to people who are starting to find it a bit dry. I would say, well, you know, like, start learning some new moves, or like starting working in a different style, or start working from your bad positions, put yourself in side control, or maybe instead of just like need a month off.
Yeah, and then reset, huh?
Yeah.
All right. If you could sum it up in a nice little package, Stuart, what's the biggest impact that jiu-jitsu has had on your life?
The biggest impact, it's pretty much made my life what it is today. You know, I actually don't know where I would be or what I would be doing if I, you know, you can't live lives with any regrets, because I went to university and did a degree on something that was completely irrelevant. But I don't have any regrets, you know, saying, oh, I wish I never did that degree. But, you know, would I have met the people I've met now, and would it have led to this? You know, right. So, you know, I'm glad I broke my arm. You know, I'm glad I broke my foot. I'm glad I did all these things. So, because it led to jiu-jitsu, and that led to all these other things. And now it's just like this crazy pathway that's going in all different directions.
Well, I believe everything happens for a reason, and it sure seems like you've had a lot of cool twists and turns in your life that led you where you are today, and it sounds like you've got an exciting adventure in store for the rest of your life as well. Yeah. Do you want to tell us what your website is, where we can find you, as well as
Stuart Cooper Films? StuartCooperFilms.com. At the moment, there's not much on there, but it's very close to changing. Very close, where you can buy hoodies and DVDs and T-shirts and rash guards and stuff. So all those profits from my website will go to, you know, more films being made.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm truly inspired and motivated by your films, and so I hope to see more and more of those and continued success with those and with other projects that you have coming, Stuart. Thank you so much for your time and being with us today.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the show. It was awesome. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you to everybody for watching my videos.
Okay, time for the Make a Difference, Make an Impact segment. Today we'll be hearing some inspirational words from Joe Rogan.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. We look at our past and we say, well, that's me. That's not you. You are this person right now. You're the person who's learned from those failures, and you can choose to be the hero of your own movie right now. Write down your goals. Write down things you want to improve. Write down things you won't tolerate from yourself. Write down things you've done in the past that you never want to see yourself do again. And go forth from here as the hero of your own movie. Build momentum. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision that you make from here on out. You can do it. Anyone can do it. We live in unique times. We live in one of the rarest times in human history where you can choose almost all of the input that comes your way. Whether it's the movies that you watch, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, you can choose to be inspired. Do that. Do that. And be the hero of your own movie.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the show. As always, thank you for listening. Special thanks goes out to Stuart Cooper for a very interesting interview. As always, if you like the show, we love to hear feedback. You can go to the website at www.graciejujitsurocks.com and leave a comment there. You can also leave a comment as well as rate the show on iTunes. And another way to leave feedback is to call 919-251-5053 and leave a voice message. Again, 919-251-5053. And if you leave a voice message, as always, please be aware that I may play the message on the air or read it on a future show. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, I'll see you on the mat.